in line to start for the Steelers' Week 3 game against the undefeated Chargers. Here's Mike Tomlin.
As I sit here today, he is not scheduled to be a full participant tomorrow in practice. And so we're readying ourselves around Justin, and we'll stay in that mindset until something else happens. Hypotheticals is a waste of our time.
That's a fair point, but great for TV sports talk shows.
Yeah.
Those are really good. No. Okay, so in the morning call, you had a theory, and we said, you know what, you should float that on TV.
I just think Miami should call Pittsburgh about Russ. Wow. Now, obviously, Russ can't play this week. You know what I mean? Russ is not fully healthy. But if there's any offense that I think Russ could have some success in, it would be the Miami offense. Tua's undersized a bit. Tua's, you know what I mean, wasn't a mobile quarterback. Russ isn't anymore. It's kind of three-step back.
Probably more mobile.
Yeah, of course. Three-step drop out. Russ's best asset really is his moon ball, which still, you know what I mean, could certainly work with those speedy receivers. And Miami cannot. Miami has a lot of salary cap eggs in this year's basket. And they can't just roll out Skylar Thompson or Snoop Huntley, who they just signed. And you guys know I'm not a big Russell Wilson guy. I also think from Pittsburgh's perspective, they do have Kyle Allen as a veteran backup. He's 28 years old. He started in this league, so it's not like their cupboard be totally bare. And I think at this point, they're good with Justin. And I bet Mike Tomlin's kind of sick of, okay, here's the Russell Wilson update again. And so it just feels you get a draft pick for him. I think it could work for all parties. I just don't think Miami can punt on the whole season. And if your Tua's out until at least week 8, that's punting on the season with Skylar and with Snoop Huntley.
So he didn't work in Denver when they did everything to make it work. And so they go get Sean Payton and they want to make that work. And great offensive mind, it doesn't work. And then he goes to Pittsburgh. So now that's his third offensive coordinator and he's hurt. So now he's going to go to Miami for his fourth offensive coordinator and he's hurt. And what are they going to say? Hey, we have a hurt guy. Can you tell us about your hurt guy? And we want to bring him down here to learn our offense and have him be successful right away, even though he hasn't been successful in those
Coach,
two
I'm
other
not
spots.
a Russ guy, but you don't think he's better than Skylar Thompson?
I actually give Russ the benefit of the doubt. What I'm frustrated with is Miami's approach here, and it's a little bit like the Jets with Zach Wilson. If you have a guy who's injury prone, and has had a serious injury that could lead to something that's long term, you should probably have someone behind him that you feel like if things go, don't go the way you want it to, or unfortunately what happens, you've got a viable candidate with all this talent and money that you've invested in the rest of the offense. And now we're in the situation where they're 2 weeks in and they're looking for an answer. And well, I don't get that.
Skylar was okay in that playoff game. They almost beat Buffalo when he played. I mean, I'm not saying he was great.
He was supposed to be the third string. Mike White was the guy they brought in to back up Tua, and Mike White was so bad in preseason that Skylar overtook him. Like, I don't think they think Skylar's the guy.
I don't hate your idea, although I do have, I like Russ, but I have questions about him being on time, like on schedule. Like, he likes to, run around and extend plays and all that. So I don't know if he definitely be great in that offense, but you might want to give it a shot.
And can he even play? I mean,
well, his health too.
Play.
And here's the thing, though. I don't think Justin has been good enough where Pittsburgh is like, oh, he's our guy the rest of the season. Like, they've won, but he's been fine. I wouldn't make a change if I were them right now. But he's 28th in the league in passing yards. He's got 1 touchdown. Like, once they start playing better teams, they're not going to be able to win without any touchdowns from the quarterback. So I still think there's a good chance. As much as I would, there's still a good chance, and I bet the Steelers are thinking this, that they'll need Russ at some point. So I don't even think they make the move.
So I guess my point is I'm not acting like Justin Fields has been great either. I just don't think, unless Justin Fields starts playing drastically worse than he's playing right now.
Which is possible with the turnovers.
No, I understand. I understand that he could. I think he's played, like you said, not that well, and they're fine. I just don't think that Russell Wilson would be a big upgrade on Justin Fields at any point this season.
But last year, Russ, as pedestrian as his passing yards were, now we know 26 touchdowns, I think 9 interceptions, high passer rating. That's still light years ahead of what Justin's doing. He was throwing for 200 yards a game. Justin's not even sniffing those numbers.
Justin has been better with the Steelers than Russ was with the Broncos. Those numbers were totally fake. And then Miami definitively should try to trade for him. If you think the numbers from Denver were real, Sean Payton didn't, I don't, but if you do, then Miami definitely should trade for him. The point I'm making is Miami has a team that is built for right now. And they, go.
And here's another reason I question it. What if they do trade for Russ and he plays pretty well and they're winning, and then Tua comes back? Do you have? I mean,
No.
do you
Just
have?
gave
You don't
Tua
have
the
no
money. No.
because he's a name.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
a Super Bowl
He
champion.
makes the league minimum to be on his 4th team, and he's no.
Yeah,
Well, if he's on a winning streak,
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying. If he's on a winning streak,
Tua comes in, and it's Tua's job.
you said Tua sits.
yeah, I think Tua
If
sits.
Russ is winning and throwing for 250 yards a game,
No, well,
I mean, Tua may sit from a medical standpoint.
Yes.
You could probably go longer than you necessarily would with a concussion, but if he comes back, you're going to go to Tua. You just paid him all that money, and you
Yes.
paid it him for a reason.
No,
so
I
it's
get
a
the
hard
long
sell to
term. I'm
ownership to
just-
say, oh, yeah, we're just kidding. We're going to play this
now we're in the
guy.
hypothetical
I like the
of
Bryce
he's on the
Young.
Dolphins and
I
he's
like the
winning
Bryce
now.
Young.
It's like, all right, we hate
I like that.
Arizona's total 0-3 teams have made it since I was born. That's a true stat. What are you looking at? What? I thought that was Nick right over there. Literally, it's must-win Wednesday. First up, Ravens in Dallas. Sunday at 4 on Fox. Double must-win?
oh,
no. It can't be a double must-win because if the idea is the Ravens win, they save their season. But that would get them to 1-2 and put the Cowboys at 1-2. So it's not fair to say the Ravens saved their season by getting to 1-2 and the Cowboys' season's over by falling to 1-2. Makes no sense.
Okay.
It is a must-win solely and only for Baltimore. Of course, the Cowboys would like to win it, but the Ravens have to win it. As I mentioned earlier, after this game, they still on their schedule Buffalo, Tampa, the Chargers, Philly, and Houston, and 6 divisional games against the Bengals, Steelers, and Browns. So yes, the Ravens absolutely unequivocally must win.
I think it's the rare double must win.
So,
All right? The Ravens is a must win, like a literal must win.
like you'll change your Super Bowl
No,
pick if they
I
lose?
mean, look, you said 6 teams since 1966. I will hold out hope that they're one of those. Did you say 66?
Well,
He said since he was born, but he didn't want people to know he was born in 66.
66.
You
6
look
teams in
great.
the Super Bowl.
You are
I
old.
look great, buddy.
I want
Hey,
your skincare
66
routine.
was not that long ago.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, I will stick with them, but obviously people will have reasons to bail on the Ravens if they lose. So they're literal must win. The Cowboys, you have to throw in the inflection. Must win? Yeah, it's a must win. Like, for the spirit. Like, if you get beat for the 2nd straight time at home, actually 3rd straight time at home, you're supposed to be this juggernaut in Texas. That would be huge as far as emotions. So, yeah, the Cowboys are in a must win, and the Ravens are in a must win. So, double.
It feels like they're both in a must-win
There it
without
is.
the inflection in your voice, because the Ravens making the playoffs after starting 0-3 with such a small percentage of teams that have been able to do that with all the problems that they've had. I think those are just going to get compounded. And then with Dallas, to lose 3 games at home after you've been so good at home for so long. And the last time they started 1-2 was, I think, 2020, and then ended up going 6-10. So it's not a great indicator of them ending up in the spot and being able to recover from it.
Good answer. Brewers up 1-0 to nothing. Great job. Next up,
Coach had the same answer as me.
Jets home opener
no,
against
he
the
didn't have the
Patriots.
inflection.
New England, sneaky good, and 15-1 in their last 16 games against the Jets. But again, no Tom Brady, no Cam Newton, no Mac Jones. Versus the Patriots this season, here's how quarterbacks have done. Joe Burrow took an L. Geno played great and won in overtime. Rodgers, we don't know yet. So for Rodgers, must win?
Absolute must win for Rodgers. It's not even a debate. And if they lose Thursday in our A block Friday, the question is Robert Saleh coaching for his job against Denver the following week? If they fall to 1-2 with a loss to the Patriots, and then you have Denver coming up, the reverse Nat Hackett revenge situation, I don't even know. Because if they lose to the Patriots and the Broncos to start the year and start 1-3, something's happening. So yes, like if my theory of interim head coach Nat Hackett coming into our lives at some point, that was looking better when it looked like the Titans were going to steal that game, and then Will Levis went Will Levis. They win, they've steadied themselves, and you can start the narrative of, listen, we lost